open up this. We got one last class here. We talk about goal setting. It's very important, guys. If you don't have any goals, okay, if you don't have any goals in place, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, we got to have our goals in place, and there's steps to setting goals. Okay, and if you set your goals up like this and you follow this, you're going to get to where you got to be. But if you don't, now this stuff has been tried, tested, and proven, and it's been around for about 100 years. And it was studied. How do big successful people go out and build their lives? So this is where we at right here, right now. We're going to close out with goal setting. Hey, and I want to say something. I am so proud of every single one of the trainers that were on the call today, everybody that came on and spoke, and everybody that also did a testimony. Man, I am so proud of you. I could just jump out this seat and do a backflip. You guys did an amazing job, and great job to each and every single one of you. But now let's close this out here. Let's talk a little bit about setting goals. There are 6 steps to setting goals, ladies and gentlemen, and this is very important. Okay, we got to understand this. Okay, we don't set these goals here. Goal not written down is what? It's just a wish. Okay, and wishes rarely ever come true, right? So let's talk about the first step. You got to have something specific. You can't be up here talking about, I want a big business. Well, what does a big business look like? Well, I want a big house. Well, big house what? See, I remember when I started talking about what I wanted in a house. What does my dream house look like? I said, man, I want 5,000 square feet. Man, I want 4 bedrooms, real big ones. Man, I want an indoor swimming pool. Hey, I want 2 acres of land. That's very specific. That's very, very specific. Hey, when I started talking about my business, I didn't say I want a big business. I said I want 25,000 people in my downline. Hey, I said I want to create 1,000 millionaires. See, that's a very specific goal. You can't be talking about I want a whole lot, I want a heap, I want it big. No, I want you to get real specific, and I want you to start thinking about that. See, you got to start focusing on this. You got to focus on this, ladies and gentlemen. Very important. So get your goals and start getting very specific. See, if a woman just say, I want a man, ain't no telling what she'll come up with. She got to say, I want a good man. And what is a good man? It's a good man to help take care of me, that go to work every day, that don't beat on me, don't cuss me out, don't beat the children, don't get drunk, right? So that might be what they call a good man. So let's talk about that. Let's think about that. Okay, I remember when I started talking about what I wanted in a woman, I couldn't say, I just want me a good woman. Well, what is that? Good woman how? Good woman that support me. Good woman that don't cheat on me, right? So be specific, right? Number 2, set a specific time frame. Hey, you got to set a time frame on this. When are you going to get it done? You can't just put it out there and just let it sit there. We got to put it out there. Then we got to say, okay, I want to get this done by this year. I want to get it done by that year, okay? Because if you don't do this, your mind, see, when you start putting this together like this and you start thinking about this, your subconscious mind is going to start thinking, oh, hey, we got to get this done. How are we going to get this done? And see, even when you sleep, your subconscious mind is thinking, how do we get this done? But if you don't ever set that time frame, your mind just thinks, well, we just get it done whenever we get it done. Okay? So when do you want it? Set a specific time. Don't say, I want to get it done soon. Soon when? Next week, next month, next year? Okay? So we got to have that. All right? Now, we got to write them down. Write them down. I can't say this enough. Write them down. You need to have them on paper, on a tablet, somewhere. So you got to make it plain. You can't run to it if you can't look at it. If you didn't write it down, everything is built in this world 3 times. See, number 1 is built in your mind. Then number 2 is built on paper. And then number 3 is built physically, right? Somebody builds a building. Somebody had to think about how it's supposed to look. So they thought about, well, I want that building to have this many floors. I want it to be this shape, okay? Then they wrote it down with an architect and said this was, so that was the second time it was built. And then they hired some contractors and construction people, and they came in and they followed the plans, and then it was physically built. So your finances got to be built 3 times. Your life got to be built 3 times. You got to have a vision, okay? You got to write it down. See, this is how you set goals. This is how you start bulletproofing your success. Number 4, develop an action plan. What are you going to do day to day to hit that goal. See, when you start talking about I was going to fix my life, I'm going back to school, you knew what school you was going to go to. You knew what class you was going to take. You knew how you was going to pay for it. You knew who was going to babysit your child. See, you knew what you're going to do now about this business. What you're going to do now about your life. Okay? See, I knew when I was trying to find me somebody, I said, man, I need to find me, I need to go to church, you know, is there some good women over here? And let me get on the internet. This is some good women over here, you know? Hey, let me call some of my friends. Do y'all know anybody, right? I was everywhere trying to figure out how do I find me a nice young lady, right? When I was talking about this business, I started looking all over the place. I started trying to find out what I could do. I started saying, I'm going to go to training. I said, every time Alvin comes to this doggone state, I'm going to be with him. Man, I'm sure he got tired of me sometimes. He tells a joke sometimes. Hey, you know, we be working all day. It's 2:00 in the morning. We supposed to be laying down, getting some rest. And I started talking about some, man, when you said this, what you mean? Because see, I was relentless. I was always saying, hey, I'm gonna go to the meeting. I'm gonna do plans. I'm gonna do presentations. I've done more presentations than y'all can think about. See, that's an action plan. I done prospected more people than y'all forgot about. I done had more people tell me no than y'all done thought about building. You got to do something day to day on all your goals. Number 5, decide what it's going to cost you. Is it going to cost you some sleep? See, some of you might say, well, you know, like my wife now, she goes to bed at, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Well, I can't go to bed at her. She say, I like to cuddle, honey. I say, honey, I can't cuddle you till about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Why? Because I'm like, I got to do some work. So I can't go. So it's costing me sometimes in the evening some cuddle time, right? So it might cost you. Maybe you on a Saturday morning, maybe you could be out in the garden somewhere, but you decide to get on training. What is it going to cost you? See, when you go to school and it costs you some sleep. You're trying to do them final exams. You're trying to do your midterms. You do everything you can to go get that degree. You decided what it was going to cost you. What is it going to cost you to build this business? You got to pay a price. You got to pay a price somewhere. But I say pay a price so you can win. See, I paid a price. Sometimes when I didn't have a whole bunch of cash and I didn't go, buy some things that I wanted to do, I invested in my business. See, that's a price I paid. I remember I bought a car for $1,500 instead of going out and buying a car and getting a car note and all that stuff so I could be cute. No, I bought a car for $1,500 and I kept that thing for 4 or 5 years. I drove it all around. It took me all kind of meetings. See, I couldn't be looking like everybody else, but guess what? I got what most people don't have. I got success. I got freedom because it cost me a price. Some people was laughing. I remember I parked that car in my mother's driveway one day. She said, man, I'm so embarrassed by your car. She was embarrassed by that little Honda Accord. But I tell you something, me and that little Honda Accord made thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? So what price are you willing to pay? What is it going to cost you? What are you going to give up to get your goal over here? Okay? Now, number 6. You need to read them goals every day. Put it on your doggone iPhone. Put it on your computer. Okay? Tape a copy of them to your steering wheel. Put them on your doggone mirror. You need to be reminded because, see, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And you'll mess around and get thrown off track. And you'll start forgetting about your goals. You'll start putting them up on the shelf. You got to read them and read them and read them. Why? Because your mind believes whatever you tell it most. If you start talking about nobody want to join this business, you're going to start believing nobody want to join this business. See, you got to read them and read them and read them. Be reminded. Why are you doing this? What's your why? You got to be reminded. See, life is going to throw you all kind of curveballs. All kind of things are going to happen. And that can take you away from your goal. I don't let too many things distract me from this. Man, I can tell y'all some stories about stuff that went on just in the last 2 weeks. And y'all be like, man, what in the world? But I still got to focus. I still got to win. I still got to get on training. I still got to help people do things. And I read them goals. I'm never going to forget where it is I'm trying to go, because I'm reminding myself, if you talk about it, then it becomes belief, and then the belief becomes action, and then new actions become new results. That is 6 steps of goal setting, ladies and gentlemen. So